innings dragging on. There's strikes on the batter, some runners are on. Then suddenly everyone's looking at me. My mind has been wondering, what could it be? They point to the sky and I look up above, and a baseball falls into my glove. I play right field. It's important to know. You gotta know how to catch. You gotta know how to throw. That's why I play in right field, way out where the dandelions grow.
As a proud sponsor of Little League Baseball, Pizza Hut welcomes all the kids who make it great.
Making it great.
Connecting to the Real Nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show. Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con. Log on to denvercomiccon.com to purchase your tickets for the 2016 extravaganza, taking place June 17th through the 19th at the Colorado Convention Center. The Real Nerds will be there, and the Real Nerds are...
Brad.
And...
James.
Every week we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience with the world. This week we saw... Heroes in a half shell, Turtle Power. We saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Stay tuned to the end of the show. We will talk about the movie. We'll spoil the movie and, talk about what happened during the movie. We also talk about stuff we've been watching, movie news, a movie podcast. That's what we do. But we start every podcast with what you can see at the best movie theater in Denver, the Alamo Drafthouse.
Did I mention I study martial arts?
On the 6th of June, The Feast is Saving Private Ryan at 7:30 at night.
Oh, I bet that would be really cool.
Yeah, because it's,
It's an awesome movie.
Yeah.
What date?
Monday. Today.
Today? They're recording
shoot.
it?
Well, when you're hearing this, you've missed it, but that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Tomorrow, Fantastic Feast presents Almost Holy. The kids.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it's at 10 o'clock, or 9 o'clock, I'm sorry. So, you'll be off work, so you'll be able to go do it. Kids Camp is Clash of the Titans. On Wednesday, Fathom presents Ghostbusters. They have two showings. They have one at 2 and at 7. The Kids Camp again is Clash of the Titans. There is The Conjuring 2 with a live stream. The Beat Goes On, Violent Cop. And Video Vortex is The Skid Kid.
Have you seen that?
No.
The trailer is playing at the Alamo. It's
It looks pretty amazing.
The movie, the short Adam and I made, Captain Eccentric, where he's sitting on the ground and like stop motion moving. It's the same thing.
Really?
Yeah. So this kid's wearing black and a helmet. So I watched it. I was like, Adam, they stole our idea.
Yeah, it's like some kids from Vermont or something like that, or Pennsylvania,
Indiana.
or Missouri. Yeah, some one of those Midwestern states, except Vermont's not one of them.
Or Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Just, kids made some neat little movie, and, I think it'd be cool to see.
On Thursday, the craft dinner is Darkman.
Oh, dude.
And there's a free victory screening of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
They show Darkman a lot. Like, I feel like they show Darkman once a year. Which
That's
is
a
pretty
fun
interesting.
one.
Yeah. I didn't know there was such like a cult, following around it though.
The Room with Greg Sestero is live on Friday.
Oh, crazy. That guy's cool.
Saturday, Geeks Who Drink, a Pixar edition, will be at the Alamo. The Room with Greg Sestero is again. The Sandlot Quote Along, Vanguard Essentials, We Are the Best are all playing Saturday. Sunday, Ghostbusters makes another appearance. Girly Night is Cruel Intentions. In a Lonely Place is The Manchurian Candidate. And Jesse Swift benefit Spaceballs this week.
Who's Jesse Swift?
Well, let me click on my handy dandy info.
I think it's cool that they're showing Ghostbusters again. That's the first movie that we got to see there.
It is.
Yeah.
As a pre-opening screening. All the way back in 2000.
Callan, now is not
13?
the time.
Okay, so let me tell you what the Jesse Swift benefit is. On May 16th, Jesse Swift and his family are victims of a brutal home invasion. Jesse fought back, causing 2 of the 3 men to flee, likely saving his family from harm, but was badly injured in the process. On June 12th, the Colorado cycling community will come together with the Swift family and friends to heal and help raise funds to cover the growing expenses incurred by this unimaginable trauma. Please join the Alamo Draft House on June 12th at 2 p.m. for a benefit screening of Mel Brooks' classic Spaceballs. A group will be doing an SS only, don't worry, with the addition of some handy zip ties applied to the shift leaders on your bike. You too can ride single speed for a day from the Alamo at 11 a.m., making it back in plenty of time for the film.
Well, that's cool.
So they're raising money to help someone pay for medical costs.
Yeah, well, that's totally a thing. People should show up for that.
Yeah.
Help out.
And that's what's playing at the Alamo Draft House this week.
Awesome.
Cowabunga!
What are we doing next?
I don't care. What do you guys want to do?
How about Blu-rays?
Blu-rays?
What, dudes? Michelangelo here for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles! Reminding you that our totally hip adventures are waiting for you on video cassette for just $14.95 each. Right on!
This is a pretty cool week. There's some good stuff in here that people should check out. One of them being Zootopia, which, spoilers for news, is now the second highest grossing film of all time.
Worldwide.
Of the year.
Of the year.
There you go. You got it.
Well, and no, it's the second original.
Moving
yes.
across $1 billion.
Yeah, right.
The
I don't
first
know.
being...
It's the greatest film of ever. Yeah,
Not based
something
on a
like that.
sequel or something. Yeah.
That'd be Avatar.
Yeah. 13 Hours gets its Blu-ray release this week, which I think that was worth checking out. I think we even recommended, like, at the very least you should rent this because it's kind of neat. Rick and Morty Season 2 is coming out on Blu-ray this week, which is a fantastic show that people should check out. Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, the director's cut, is getting its Blu-ray release
Got
this
a good
week.
review on Digital Bits.
Yeah, I read the picture quality is insane.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
They redid the whole thing, yeah.
They recommended even if you already own it, you should buy it again.
Son of
Yeah.
a bitch. Because I was literally just going to say, like, man, like, the cover art is enough to make me want to buy it again.
Yeah, it's a Mondo
And then-
poster.
Yeah.
And then,
then
they
you-
said there's like one new bonus feature, which is like a new interview documentary thing, and the rest is the same special features, but the picture quality is off of a 4K transfer, and it looks fantastic.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that sounds amazing. All right.
Yeah.
Well, shoot.
I know.
Twist James' arm.
In a week with a lot of stuff that I want to buy, I'm annoyed that they just convinced me I need to buy that. Because another one is Hail Caesar is getting its Blu-ray release this week, as well as the extended edition of The Martian, which that's cool. I didn't know they were doing that until literally right now. So
Yep.
That movie can be longer.
Star Trek: The Next Generation has a complete series box set coming out today.
Did you read the review of it on Blu-ray.com?
No.
It's not like individual seasons. It's like 2 big...
It's like the European version.
Yeah, it's like 2
Big
big
left.
ones, and it's slightly taller and a little wider than if you have all the seasons.
Okay.
It looks like big Harry Potter books. Like when you flip to the side, they just like look like big novels.
Yeah. They do that with like a lot of TV series now, where like Mork and Mindy and Taxi are both like this is like this
Both
giant
CBS.
Yeah, this giant plastic wallet with like a box surrounding it. But if you really want it, because you should still watch the episodes and have them, on Best Buy it's only $100.
Yeah,
Wow.
You should read the Blu-ray.com review. They took some things out though.
Special feature wise.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah, something with like being able to watch episodes continuously. There's a two-parter that is broken up on a disc. So like it ends on one disc and you have to continue to, I forget. I'd have to read the whole review again.
Huh.
Yeah. I mean, that's lame, but not necessarily a deal breaker.
Yeah. I mean, $100 for that whole series on Blu-ray.
It's a steal, to be sure. Yeah. The first season of Vinyl comes out on Blu-ray this week, which Brad is a mediocre fan of.
It's all right. I don't know if I'd own it.
Yeah. The first season of, or not the first season, Anomalisa is coming out on Blu-ray this week, which we would get hate mail from a few people if we didn't mention. As well as the complete original series of Roots is getting a Blu-ray release. I'm not sure if that's had a Blu-ray before or not, but there's an Anna Kendrick movie called Mr. Right coming out this week. That might be worth checking out, but it might not be, because who knows. And then I think now I'm getting into the real garbage down at the bottom. But yeah, that's unless I'm missing something.
Here's what Blu-ray.com said about the Star Trek Next Generation. The only thing that has gone against it. Here are two major strikes against the set. First, it doesn't save any room over the standalone 7-season releases. The new box measures 4 inches wide. The 7 in this case stacked together measure 4 inches wide. The other problem is that the set does not include standalone releases that saw a few key two-part episodes cut together into a single film-length experience. The best of both worlds, redemption, unification, chain of command, and all good things, not counting the sampler release. That also means the special features unique to those releases aren't included either. That's a big missed opportunity to make this more of a definitive The Next Generation Blu-ray release.
I don't remember when I watched my individual seasons that like some of the two-parters would play together. I don't feel like I had that unless they're talking about those individual releases for like Best of Both Worlds and
I think that's what they mean.
Like, so that's like something you would get anyway.
Yeah, I think they're saying that it's not technically like a complete like experience because it's missing those.
I don't know.
But I mean, they still gave it 4.5 stars out of 5 because they dinged it on picture quality.
Huh.
Interesting.
Maybe it's just not an upgrade.
Yeah,
maybe
that's
it's
it
not
is.
as good as it could be, right? Like
Usually it's because it's a 25-year-old TV show that can only look so good.
yeah, right.
It looked good when I watched it.
Yeah. One thing that I did miss was the Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon movie 99 Homes is getting its Blu-ray release this week, which is actually one that I'd really wanted to check out. It's the movie about dudes who evict dudes and then hire dudes who got evicted to help them evict people, and how interesting that might be. So maybe check that out.
Brad, what's going on around town?
Hey, Matt, where are you going? Out to a movie. That okay with you? Yeah.
All right, you'll enjoy this, Ryan. The Bug Theater is going to be doing Evil Dead the Musical June 10th through the 16th, 7:30 p.m. Friday and Saturdays.
Is that
Very cool.
Is that the one that you saw like
In Vegas?
Oh, okay,
It
cool.
is.
Neat.
But I'll go see it downtown. How much are tickets?
It's $20 for a show. $25 to get in the splatter zone. $17 it's $20 if you buy advance online. $25 at the venue.
door, yeah.
But this thing sells out, so don't do that.
Oh, yeah. It's come to Denver a couple times, and every time it's come, it's sold out really fast.
Yeah. And if you get 6 people together, you can you can get your tickets for $17 apiece.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
good.
So he gets loud when I talk. It's great.
No, he just is loud. It's okay.
And then at the Midnights at the Esquire this week is Zombieland.
Nice.
Cool.
And
good
then
one.
next weekend, Comic-Con weekend, they are playing Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So
Oh.
if you're still all hyped up from con, got that con energy, and you can't go to sleep, you can go to watch Pee-wee's Big Adventure at the Esquire at midnight.
Yeah.
And then the drive-in, they obviously haven't announced this weekend's slate yet, but currently throughout the rest of the week, it's still Angry Birds, Ninja Turtles, Out of the Shadows, and Neighbors 2.
Did you go see Angry Birds?
I haven't, no, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe tomorrow.
One of us should go see Angry Birds.
Really?
Probably me tomorrow.
When I said that, Ryan, I didn't mean you or me.
Okay.
Just, don't worry, I'm looking out for you.
Yeah, that's all I got for this week around town.
Cool.
Cool.
This is what we watched this week.
Come on, let's change this. Hey, maybe somebody's got something on our fight last night.
Raphael,
Huh?
do not change channel.
James, what did you watch this week?
Cool. I finished The Night Manager, which is the BBC show that's been airing on AMC, that stars Tom Hiddleston and Hugh Laurie. And, you know, for 8 episodes of television, I think it's a pretty neat little story. Didn't necessarily blow me away, but it's really well made and really well acted. I think it's certainly worth picking up a Blu-ray or renting it on Amazon or something like that. Like, it's a cool watch that, you know, if you want a spy show that's maybe more in the line of like a Tinker Tailor kind of a spy show, I think it's definitely worth checking out. I found it pretty entertaining. And again, like the performances are so good that I wasn't ever bored. I was always really engrossed. But when I take a step back, I'm like, well, I don't know that like it ever blew me away.
Yeah.
But a neat story told well. I can say that. I also continued my Shane Black extravaganza.
Nice.
And got a chance to see The Long Kiss Goodnight this week. Which I've talked about this before. There's a guy who does these YouTube videos called Movies with Mikey, who people should go check out if you could just go to YouTube and search for him. He's doing a really neat thing where he's like, he only reviews movies that he really loves. And so it means that he's just making these like positive reviews, but talking about them with a lot of detail and like really digging into like the art of the movie. And so he had referenced this as, he had done another Shane Black movie and then referenced this as his favorite. And so I was really excited because I'd never seen it. And between this and The Last Boy Scout, I think one of the big takeaways is that I learned why Shane Black directs his own scripts now. Because in both cases, with Tony Scott on Last Boy Scout and with, Rennie Harlan on, Long Kiss Goodnight, I feel like,
How did I remember that?
I don't know. It was good. It's because it's Gina Davis, right?
I guess I had a 50-50 shot.
Right, yeah. What I realized is just there's some stuff that gets sort of dropped, right? I think it's totally a cool movie, especially the last hour and a half, which becomes one of the most badass action movies I've seen. Like, it's just really great. The Long Kiss Goodnight basically stars Gina Davis. The normal Shane Black tropes that are here is that it takes place at Christmas, that it has Samuel L. Jackson playing a private investigator, who's kind of a scumbag, of course he is, right? But the big weird twist here is that Gina Davis is she's like a Cold War spy / assassin who, for whatever reason has forgotten who she is and has lived the last 8 years of her life as just like a normal mother, right? And when she woke up not remembering who she was pregnant. So now she has this 8-year-old daughter. She's married this dude. They have this really nice life together. And then all of a sudden stuff starts to happen that causes her to begin to remember. She has this she goes through this really awesome car wreck where she she's in the car. This is a great scene. This is a really good scene. So she's in the car with this old guy and he's kind of drunk and he reaches over to feel her up and that distracts her enough that then she ends up hitting a deer and going into a tree. She flies through the windshield of the car and the way he shoots it, the deer's in the windshield and it's brutal in a 90s way where it's a little over the top and it doesn't really look that good. But it's badass because when she wakes up having been thrown from this car, you can tell that something's a little weird about her. And the guy is still in the car. She leaves him to burn to death. She gets up. She walks over to the deer. The deer's still alive and kicking. It's this cool animatronic deer. And she grabs its horns and just twists its neck and snaps its neck. And then she just passes out again. And you're like, who the fuck was that? That wasn't my nice mother lady, right? After that, she starts healing. And there's these really awkwardly directed and not really well performed scenes where she's remembering to cut vegetables and it's super weird. So the first 40 minutes you're like, this is not really the best and I don't know, this is kind of weird. But basically what's happening is obviously the assassin character of Charlie that she's forgotten starts to come back and eventually takes over, and she and Samuel L. Jackson have to go figure out this evil plot that, it's the same as every other Shane Black movie, right? Where there's some thing going on and there's some political reasons why it's happening. And the things that are great about this movie are all of the things that are great about his movies, right? The setups and executions are really well written and well executed. He focuses on the characters in some really great ways. So the core of the story and what makes this movie so unique is that what it actually is about a badass mother spy. Because it's like, it's kind of similar to like if Sydney Bristow were in her, late 30s, early 40s, and her daughter were, 8 years old now, and like how would she deal with that, right? Like, so there's these amazing scenes where as Charlie's remembering, like Charlie doesn't give a shit about the kid. She's like, I didn't want to have a kid. This other woman who's taken over my life for 8 years has fucked everything up. But like, she ends up learning to love this kid again, and it's really a great story at the core of this really pretty cool action scene, or action movie. Samuel L. Jackson is fantastic. Gina Davis is good enough, and I think the scenes between the two of them, like they have really good chemistry together. In a lot of the ways that Last Boy Scout didn't work, this movie does. I think it's
a cool
absolutely
title,
recommend
too.
it.
I love the
yeah,
title.
yeah. And when they just sort of, the title comes out of like a little throwaway line, and when they explain to you what it is, you're like, oh, that's a really cool. Like when you understand the meaning, you're like, that's a really cool title. So yeah, I think it's totally worth checking out. I bought the Blu-ray because I was determined to buy all Shane Black movies. But I think you can get it either on Netflix or Amazon and check it out. I agree.
He's having a cracker.
I think it's totally worth checking out. So, and then the very last thing is something that I actually missed talking about last week. Hey, I understand. Can I have a cookie? Can I? Please? No? All right. That I went to see Psycho 2 at the Alamo, now 2 weeks ago. I went with Zach, and Henry, and I'd never seen Psycho 2 before, and I will say that it was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's also really stupid at times. There's some really weird scenes, like when he's talking about how the girl smells like his mother's sandwiches. Like there's some really awkward stuff where you're like, man, but Anthony Perkins turns in a great performance. The twists at the end are really well written out. Like the very short version of the plot is that he gets released from prison because he's proven apparently that he went into an asylum, and then his doctor tells him now that like that he tells the courts that he's not crazy anymore, so he gets released from prison.
He's rehabilitated.
Yeah. So they rehabilitate him, and then they decide this is one of the insane parts. But they're like, it's totally okay if you go back and live at the hotel and at your mother's house again. Like if he is rehabilitated, that's probably the worst idea possible. But when he goes back, like. The movie basically follows this plot of is his mother really coming back, and is he really going crazy again, or is he being tormented by somebody in the town or from his past who is like dressing up like his mother, or like setting things up, or and even killing people around him in order to make him feel like he's going insane, or a combination of the two, right? Like you keep going back and forth where you're like, even at the end you're like, wait, who's killed who now? And wait, like you're really lost until basically the final piece where you go, oh, this person was killed by this person was killed by this person, right? Like it all starts to make sense. And there's some interesting gore deaths in the movie. I think there's some really fascinating like psychological horror moments, especially all of that, like, cause you care a lot about Norman Bates in this movie. You want him to be okay, and you want people to stop fucking with him if they are fucking with him, because they introduce it to you that way so that you'll believe it. But then there's a time in the movie where you're like, maybe he's just been crazy the whole time.
Yeah,
it's really well scripted out, which is why it's so annoying when there's these terrible sequences that are so poorly written. And you're like literally a whole audience is laughing at like, this is the most ridiculous line of dialogue I've ever heard. But But whatever, I think it's totally worth checking out. Like, if you ever see the Psycho 1 and 2 Blu-ray pack, like, yeah, pick that up because they're both good.
I would recommend getting the Scream Factory Psycho 2 collector's edition because it has interviews with the director Richard Franklin and the writer Tom Holland, who actually wrote Fright Night and Child's Play.
Oh, dude, cool.
And so that's why Psycho 2 has some really cool, but you're right, you do feel for Norman Bates. For some reason, he's really sympathetic in it for a while. And
well, I mean, I think I'm kind of a sucker, but I think they convinced me enough to feel for him.
Yeah.
That when even when eventually I'm maybe not supposed to, or I'm supposed to be suspicious, I'm like hoping against hope that I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right?
No, I agree. I think that's some of the best. But yeah, it also has some really dorky parts. But it's a fascinating film. Psycho 3 kind of goes into Friday the 13th territory, where it's a little more campy and a little more over the top.
Yeah.
Psycho 4 is really great, and that's coming out on Blu-ray, I think, in August. And it's Anthony Perkins calling into a radio show and explaining why he's did matricide and stuff like that, and it's his origin story, and it's really fascinating. It's actually I think it's the best sequel to Psycho. So definitely check out Psycho 4. It's called Psycho 4 at the beginning. It's a really horrible name.
Yeah.
But a really underrated film.
Huh.
But yeah, Psycho 2 is fun.
Yeah. I think it's worth checking out. So I believe that's everything.
Brad?
Most of my stuff is stuff that I forgot I watched last week.
We all did it.
First is I watched the documentary Team Foxcatcher, which is
Yeah, the one Zach was talking about.
Huh?
The one Zach was talking about.
Yeah.
And
it was okay. I'd probably rather watch the dramatized version.
Sure.
But they go obviously more into what really, the details of really what happened and more the psychology of which I forgot his name right now.
Yep. Foxcatcher Man.
Dude Foxcatcher.
Dumont.
DuPont. I don't
There
remember.
we go. Good job.
Whatever, DuPont. Yeah. Obviously the dramatized movie, it was way more like they exaggerated the whole, like the build. The movie talks about the brother, the one that Channing Tatum plays. Like the documentary doesn't really touch on him at all. It's all about Mark Ruffalo's, mostly about Mark Ruffalo's character and his relationship with DuPont. And they have a lot of great interviews with his family. Like his kids are grown up now, talking about how it affected their lives. His wife goes on a tour of the property in the present.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's like
that's terrible.
And how it's like fallen into disarray and stuff. And she's like, yeah, this is where my kids. That's where their crib was, and like the walls all falling apart and stuff. And you think that a property like that would still be maintained?
Yeah, like somebody else would buy it.
Yeah,
and put some non-killers in there. But
yeah, that whole like tunnel sequence. How in the movie they portray that he escapes like through this like secret tunnel in his mansion.
Yeah,
to evade cops. He apparently just went through like his front door or something,
huh?
Or like through the garden, and then they eventually convinced him to come out. Just like, yeah, we won't arrest you or something, and then or they turned off the power or something.
Yeah.
And so like that was enough to convince him to like come outside and like go to the generator. And they're like, yeah, you can come out and like start the generator. We won't try to stop you. And of course they tackled him as soon as they came out the door.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then he died in prison.
Well, good.
Yeah. So yeah, this Foxcatcher. If you want a little extra information on that story,
cool,
it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
I also started watching Kindergarten Cop 2.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
I emphasize started watching.
Okay.
Because I didn't finish it.
So you're saying Dolph Lundgren is no Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Well, I mean, yeah.
It wasn't so much Dolph Lundgren. It was just like the story and the filmmaking quality of the movie was just like I couldn't handle it.
Is it like the same story, only this time made for TV?
I don't know. I didn't get that far. It was just. It starts out with Dolph Lundgren's.
How far did you get?
Dolph Lundgren's a cop at this police station, and all I remember now is that, like 5 minutes in the movie, the police station gets like almost like 24, where they're like interrogating a suspect, and then like the alarm goes off, and suddenly this whole like top special forces team is like breaking into the building. And so Dolph Lundgren and his partner, go through these hallways, which it's a police station, but it pretty much looks like an abandoned school, like an abandoned high school. And so they're fighting all these special forces guys in the hallways. And then like the scene prior to that, Dolph Lundgren's trying to fight with a vending machine to get a candy bar that didn't come out. And he's ready to like pull out his pistol and blow the glass open to get it, until his police chief shows up and he's like, "You're not causing trouble again, are you?" I don't know, Dolph Lundgren, whatever his character's name is. And he's like, "No, sir," and puts his gun away. And then, in the fight, the vending machine gets broken. And then, he's able to get the candy bar that he wanted. And he and his partner and like, I know, one other woman are pretty much the police force in this low budget movie. And they manage to smoke these special forces guys. And then they just go about their business like nothing happened.
Yeah, dude, duh.
And then, he gets put on assignment for like this class of kids or something. And I was like, I'm not going to go through.
Yeah.
So,
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, that was enough. Then I also watched a documentary called Tig, which is based on the life of comedian Tig Notaro, who was a fairly well-known comedian, and then she was diagnosed with cancer, and then she did this set at this comedy club, and it like got a ton of traction. And the documentary just like chronicles like her life dealing with like having a instantaneous stardom in comedy, and then her mother died at the same time. Like she was diagnosed with cancer, her mother died, like all this bad shit happened. Then she wanted to have kids, but she can't have kids because like the cancer treatment ruined her system. So, or if she did try to have a kid, it could either kill her or hurt the baby. So then she has to adopt, and then she can't adopt. So she had to get like a surrogate. And then meanwhile, she's trying to make a sequel comedy album. She has like no inspiration. And like her comedy like was so successful because she was so honest about her, like her whole set was about having cancer and being really dry humored about it. But then when she was cleared of it, there was no jokes to be made. So
right. Being healthy wasn't funny.
Yeah, and you don't want to wish for like another tragedy to make a set about. So
that's interesting. I think there's an episode of This American Life that she was on during that time. Like I've heard part of that story, but certainly never got the follow up. So that sounds cool.
Yeah, I played it thinking it was just like another comedy special because I was just burning through comedians and stuff.
Yeah, and
it turned out to be this life documentary.
And it wasn't funny.
Yeah, yeah. They don't do. I don't think they even do the whole set. It's just like when she is on stage, because I guess the comedy the venue there doesn't allow any kind of recording, so like even a comedian couldn't like record their album there. But luckily, someone did have like their phone out at the time, so they caught it.
Cool.
Yeah. So it was an interesting insight into someone's life. And then at the Colorado Independent Women in Film Festival this week, I actually saw a really great film called Obsoletia, which is about this guy who's kind of stuck in the past. He's doing interviews with people who are in jobs that are becoming obsolete, and he's trying to write the encyclopedia about obsolescence. So he's just chronicling things that are on their way out.
Yeah.
So one of the interviews is a silent film projectionist at a theater. I forget what some of the other early ones are. He works at a library, so even his own job is...
right.
They raise questions of like, well, how long are you going to be here? And he's like, oh, poor families still need wealthy people can have a computer to the internet, but poor people still use books in the library and stuff. So
right.
I still serve a function. But he teams up with the silent film projectionist, and she's interested in what he does, and then she kind of pushes him to push his boundaries and be a little bit more modern. And then he finds out he has this interview with a beekeeper in the Death Valley. So they take a road trip to Death Valley and interview him. They talk. He brings up questions about like how like the Earth is dying, and his bee specimens are becoming extinct, and the whole movie raises questions about like what are the value of things, and is it worth, if extinction is on the way, like is it worth, just ending it right now or continuing? And then at the end of the movie, it resolves itself by making the argument that nothing really becomes obsolete as long as you love it. So like one of the points they made, like, yeah, typewriters aren't necessary, but because he has a typewriter and he uses it and he loves it, will it ever become useless? Because out of that love,
Right.
So
Yeah. Interesting.
yeah,
That's cool. Very cool.
indie film. It was shot back in 2009.
Oh, okay.
Went to Sundance and stuff, but never really got any traction. And it was like the director's first film. Her name's Diane Bell, which for first film, it's frustrating that it's so good.
Yeah.
She's made a few since, but if you want to watch it, it's on iTunes for rent and purchase.
Cool.
You should definitely check it out.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
That sounds neat.
And then the last thing is I've watched Star Trek Season 3, the original series.
Okay.
And I finished it, and now I have watched all of Star Trek across all different series.
Is this the first time that is true?
Yeah.
Neat.
In the first time in my life, I've watched everything Star Trek.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't seen is
even the animated
OG,
series.
Yeah.
The OG. Yeah, because the original series is a classic, but all the episodes are hard to watch because they're just...
Well, they're old.
They're old and low budget.
And some of them are kind of dumb.
Yeah. So I watched season 1 a long time ago, recently picked up season 2 recently, right now, finished it. Season 2 is like better than season 1, but season 3, it starts off okay, and then by the end of it, I was like, God, it seems like there's a lot of like, they go to a planet and there's a scantily clad alien woman.
And he has sex with it.
He doesn't. No, not that. It's just like she's like the crux of the plot. Like
Yeah.
a lot
Wait,
of
scantily clad alien woman. Doing.
Brian's been asleep for 15 minutes, by the way. Yeah.
yeah. So like every story involves just like there might be a main guy, but there's also like this scantily clad alien woman, and it's not like a Kirk love interest. It's just like she's part of the story just for ratings.
They knew they were, and you know what happened next? The show got canceled. Like,
Yeah, so I was doing my
they were clearly
research.
desperate.
I was doing my research, and like after season 2, they did get canceled, and there was the big letter writing campaign from fans,
Right.
to convince them to bring it back, and they brought it back on Monday nights, which was great. But then at the last minute, NBC decided, nope, Laugh-In is our Monday night star. It's not a good pairing.
Classic TV Laugh-In, which everybody remembers.
Absolutely.
And watches endlessly, binge watches. They decided to put Star Trek, this hip progressive show at the time, on Friday nights when all the hip progressive audiences is out doing hip progressive things. So they did season 3. Sometimes Uhura's not even there for a long stretch of episodes.
We're only going to show episodes during civil rights campaigns. Like,
yeah. That season 3 is the season where is the infamous kiss, where
Right.
Shatner kisses Uhura, the first interracial kiss on TV. But yeah, that's the big thing. And the other thing I noticed is like a lot of Star Trek, the original series, is 2 plots. The Enterprise crew encounters a primitive society who thinks they are gods, and it is in their is them by being gods that confuses the primitives and causes the conflict,
Right.
thinking that they're magic and they can heal everything,
Right.
all their problems. Or the Enterprise encounters a futuristic society way more powerful than them, and they have to figure out a way to use their primitiveness to defeat that super society.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. I always thought those are more complex, but really it's back and forth, like primitive society, superior society. Like
They didn't get caught in as many like weird space clouds that they didn't know how to get out of until they did. That's a pretty common like next gen thing.
okay.
We're stuck in the space cloud.
Yeah.
How do we get out of it?
The other thing weird is like sometimes they'll just encounter floating composite things. Like
Right.
one episode is just Abraham Lincoln is on the view screen floating in space in a
Yep.
chair. Because it's Star Trek, I'm sure.
Why the hell
fine.
not?
It looks weird.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or there's just a translucent hand grabs the ship and holds it in space.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Another cool thing was because I finished the Batman 66. Yvonne Craig is a green alien woman, Marta, who is a prison. The episode is this old starship captain goes crazy, and he was like this revered captain, but when he went crazy, they put him in a prison. And when the Enterprise encounters them, he has managed to take over the prison, and all the loonies are his, including Marta, this alien woman. So yeah, Yvonne Craig does this whole dance sequence.
Is she an Orion slave girl?
I don't know if they reference that, but
okay.
She was just, she gets blown up at the end, which, which is
No.
pretty brutal. Yeah. She gets like a exploding collar attached to her and sent out into the,
She is
out
out
to-
sexy.
the planet they're on doesn't have like an atmosphere or something. So if you go outside, you suffocate. So they put her out there to like suffocate and then they blow her up. So it's like, damn, that's harsh.
That's funny.
So,
Cool.
yeah, Star Trek season 3. And I've watched all the Star Trek that was ever made.
Nice.
Even the animated series.
Well, congratulations, sir. Now you can start over.
Yep.
This week I watched True Detective.
The first season?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Whole
The
season?
performances are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it only took me like a couple days. I think it's 8 episodes.
Right.
And, Alexandria Daddario's naked in it, so that gives it an extra half star in my book.
You know what I'm
So it's
compiling?
1.5 star? No, I'm just kidding.
You know, I'm compiling the 300 best moments of the episode. I'm doing a supercut of all the times you reference like naked women.
Nice. Good. No, but all seriousness, like the show's pretty well made. It's really well acted. It kind of loses steam about halfway through the series. Maybe a little after, but
Yeah, for me, it's the turn. It's when they
Yeah.
It's when they start to reveal. Like they've set up this cool. I was in and then they've set up this cool conspiracy, and then when they reveal it, I was so let down.
yeah, I think it's episode 6 or 7. I don't
Yeah.
remember exactly because I watched them so closely together, back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
But I mean, the performances are really good in it, and it's really well made. The story I just kind of started losing interest in.
Right.
But I got it on Black Friday, and it was like $7.99. I think it's $7.99 well spent. I don't regret.
Oh no
watching it. So
there have been many. Having seen it, every now and then I see it and think like, oh, I could get it for $1 at Tradesmart, and then I end up getting something else. Like even that, I'm sort of tempted by.
Yeah.
Even though I don't know I'll ever watch it again because I am relatively frustrated by it.
yeah,
But it's so well made.
It is.
That first season.
it is.
And I would point out, because I don't know if you're going to try to watch the second one, part of why I think I watched the first one and gave up on the second one was because with the first one, while those guys are assholes, I do find these little glimmers of like,
Yeah.
I want them to be better, especially Matthew McConaughey's character. I don't feel is that bad. He's just so fucked up
Yeah.
that you kind of want him to find his way.
Well, that's what's hard with
and in
this-
the second episode, the second season starts, and I'm like, I hate all of these people. I don't want any of these people to have good things happen to them ever.
And every story doesn't need like a good and a bad guy, but eventually you want somebody to do something good.
I want somebody to root. It doesn't even have to be good.
Yeah,
I want
or
somebody
root
to
for, I
root
guess
for,
that
right?
makes sense, yeah.
Even if they're bad, right? Like Mad Men is about an anti-hero, but I root for him to be better, or I
Yeah.
root for him to be successful, right? Like I want to follow his story, and I've got a vested interest in him.
Yeah, to me, True Detective wasn't like the first season. Didn't live up to the hype that I heard about it. So it's not bad. See, I have HBO, so I mean, I can watch season 2 on demand whenever I want. So maybe when I'm sick or something, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was the thing that during that time, like everyone was talking about it, and every time somebody came up to me and said, like, "Oh, James, are you watching True Detective?" I'd be like, "Oh, are you watching Fargo?" Anyway,
I rewatched Deadpool with my little boy. I couldn't sleep one morning, and he was up at 6.
What's pegging, Kellen? Can you say pegging?
I put in Deadpool, and he sat on my lap and just watched it. It's a pretty good movie. It's really fun.
yeah,
It's
good.
I had fun watching it, and I think what sells it is Ryan Reynolds is really good in it.
Oh yeah,
So that
it's
really helps the
it's
film.
a smart, dense script.
Yeah.
Like,
Did
there's
you
a lot
watch
of
the
stuff.
special features?
I haven't watched the special features yet. No. I've finished my comic book thing. I'm almost done with the article. So I started my next one is I'm going to watch the Disney films in order.
Awesome.
And I watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs this week, and that film is really good. It really is.
Yeah.
And I think the evil queen is really attractive when she's the evil queen. I don't know. There's something about her that I think is really attractive. Not when she turns into the witch, guys. Maybe because she has like a mean streak to her, and Snow White is just too pure for me. You know, she's saying, "Oh my, what a bunch of little boys live in this house." You know, I don't like that. I like the one that's vain, makes an apple to kill somebody. You know, that's my kind of woman. But the film itself, it is a really fun movie. Watching it again, you can see how Dopey has kind of transcended the film, because I don't know what artist drew him or acted him, but he is really good in the film, and the way he's animated, you just root for the little guy. My favorite moment comedic wise in the whole film is after Snow White cleans their house, and the next morning, he hasn't done that in so long.
Man, he's
not priest.
For the listeners, Kellen has begun throwing all of Ryan's Blu-rays on the floor. Which, I have not
you're gonna
seen
put
him
him back
do in a while. Yeah.
But yeah, so anyways,
the tape is defeating him.
all the dwarfs are going to work, and as they're leaving, Snow White's giving him kisses on the forehead.
Yeah.
And so Dopey comes up and she kisses him on the forehead, and then they show him run around the house, jump through a window, and come back through the other side to get another kiss. It's really funny. And then even Grumpy, as he's leaving, is like combing his hair and getting all huffy puffy.
Part of what's funny about it is that once he starts,
Can you pick those up for me?
they all just sort of domino, right? So
Kellen.
he only has to pull a couple
Kellen.
before.
Yeah, put those back on the shelf for me. Can you pick them up? Will you help me?
And if you could alphabetize them properly.
If you pick those up, thank you.
Oh, good job.
He's
gonna be so confused when they don't stand up.
It's okay.
That's probably where that movie belongs.
R.I.P.D. didn't hold up in theaters either.
I know, good job.
Wow.
And the last movie I watched this week was Gods of Egypt.
I'm so excited. Ryan, what the hell is Gods of Egypt?
I'll tell you guys. Well, first...
And can I borrow it?
Yes, you may. I wasn't sure if I was going to get it. And so I went to Best Buy, and I wasn't going to get it because the 3D version is the...
He's walking all over them.
The 3D version is... you did it. It's just so on the 3D version, there is like these two like birds fighting that are metallic. And I was hoping that
it's like these awesome robot things.
Yeah, I was hoping it was like a hologram cover or something. You know, you move it and they like sparks would fly off them. But
because sparks would make sense.
Yeah. Wait till I get to the movie. So,
I'm so excited.
So when I went there, it's just an embossed like slipcover. So it's just there's nothing special about it. And it was $27. I'm like, fuck it, I don't care. And then I went a little farther into Best Buy and I was walking around, and then they have a steelbook with like original commissioned artwork.
Dude,
and it was $19.99. I was like, oh.
It's so cool.
And it comes with a 3D version of it. So it was a 3D version of it, but with like cool steelbook comic book art.
I was there this week and I saw, after you posted that on Twitter, I saw it and I was like, I could buy it too. Like, it's just so cool looking.
It is. So the story of Gods of Egypt is so Egypt worships their gods, whether it's Osiris, Horus, Set, Ra, sun god, Anubis, the god of death or whatever. I don't know his official title. I'm not versed in Egyptology.
Even after seeing this movie?
You think I would be. So the movie opens and the dude who plays, I can't remember his name. He's the Lannister who gets his hand cut off in Game of Thrones. Jamie Lannister, thank you. I didn't even watch Game of Thrones. Anyways, it's that guy, and he's a god, and all these gods are bigger than the mortal people. So every shot is
bigger by like
they're like 10 feet tall. Let's say.
Yeah. I wanted some context. Right?
Yeah, so 10 feet tall. So every shot is them really big, and then normal people, normal size. So it's kind of weird looking because they're always in frame together. So almost every shot in this movie is a special effect. So it's kind of
weird.
Yeah. And so anyways, the opening of the movie is Horus is going to be named like the god king or the ruler of all Egypt. I don't fucking know. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
And so his dad is about to bequeath this power upon him. And then Gerard Butler's Set shows up. He's there to congratulate his brother, guys. Or is he? So he kills Osiris. I think that's who it was. The dad. And they don't bleed blood. They like bleed liquid gold.
Oh, hell yeah.
So he gets stabbed. And Jamie Lannister plays Horus.
Right.
So he grabs Set and they're fighting. And then all of a sudden they morph into those fucking things that are on the cover. Like those big robot like birds.
I'm so excited.
I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this movie?
That's amazing.
And
is it awesome when they're big, like Transformer birds and they fight?
Honestly, the movie is not that bad. It's kind of, I would say it's a computer generated version of a Jason and the Argonauts.
Sure.
It's not as cool because it's not stop motion.
Like, would you put it in the same tier as like the modern, like a Sam Worthington's Clash of the Titans?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It has that same feel, but with Egypt. The main character in it is a thief named Beck, and he's in love with another slave girl. And when Set takes over Cairo, he kind of says, well, I want to build a monument as big as me or whatever. So as he's building that, he also wages war on the other gods of Egypt. And he, you okay? Okay. How about my movies? So he wages a war on the rest of the gods of Egypt, and he steals their powers. So he steals Horus's like all-seeing eyes.
Does he rip him out of his head?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So he's like an apocalypse?
So
yeah.
Now it's like Jamie Lannister, but with no eyes, running around and he can turn into a bird.
Well, Jamie Lannister goes into hiding after he gets his eyes ripped out because he's no longer powerful.
Does that mean he can't turn into a bird anymore?
He can't.
Oh!
But so Set goes around and he rips the wings off of another bird god. Ejiofor, I forget, whatever his name. Chiwetel Ejiofor. He's an all knowledgeable dude, so he rips his brain out. And you think the brain is like some crystal brain.
What's the movie rated? PG-13?
PG-13.
Okay. So it's not super gory when he's like, I'm going to eat your brain.
No, it's
They have
gory.
gold blood
but-
and crystal brains. So.
Well, that's true, yeah.
The blood is, everything that bleeds is liquid gold. But I mean, they show like blood sprays, but it's
Yeah,
gold.
but it's gold, yeah.
So that's how they get away with it. I mean, there are some cool scenes where he fights like these big Minotaur guys. The scene where these two chicks are riding these giant snakes is pretty cool. The problem with the movie is it's really disjointed.
Are they robot snakes or real
No,
snakes?
they're like
Okay.
real snakes,
All right,
but they're
I'm
like riding
still
on
in.
like horses.
Okay, I'm back in.
And it's kind of like Tremors.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yep. Yes.
It's really disjointed and it's hard to follow sometimes because you have to keep up with all these rules that they're explaining to you.
Yeah.
Like Jeffrey Rush plays Ra, like they're all-seeing god who rides this chariot that has connected to the sun that has gold. It's really weird.
Okay.
But I mean, it's fun. I mean, the core of the story is this, Beck, they escape from, Set and the builder played by Rufus Sewell, I forget his name.
You got it.
Rufus dude. And as they're getting away, he kills like his girlfriend. So he goes to ask Horus to like bring his girlfriend back if he steals his all-seeing eyes. So it kind of goes like into this adventure movie. And it's not bad. I mean, I've seen worse movies this year for sure. And if you kind of check your brain at the door and just enjoy robot birds fighting each other in ancient Egypt. Hey buddy, don't do that. You're going to hurt yourself. Then you're good.
Cool.
You know?
Yeah. Would you say it was everything you hoped it could be?
Yeah. It didn't exceed my expectations, but it also didn't make my expectations worse.
But how could it? Yeah. Okay.
It was about in the middle of the road. And there's some times when the special effects are actually really impressive. And then other times, and the weird thing is when it's not impressive, is when the actors are on a green screen and they're moving. So, like, you can see, like, the shading isn't right in their hair because everybody has long hair.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But, like, some of the creatures, like Anubis, I think he looks really cool.
Yeah.
And there's a part where they show when you go into the afterlife, you have to give up a bunch of gold. And if you give up a bunch of gold, then you ascend to heaven, basically. If you don't, then you just get eaten away. And then there's these giant like mummy guys, and they say, "Pay the price," and they look really great. Yeah. And then there's times when you're like, "If this looks bad," they have like a Galactus monster at the end.
It feels like you're explaining a lot of stuff. Is it like super exposition heavy where it gets boring at times?
No, because all the
Yeah.
exposition
is like, hey, you have to pay gold to get into hell, and then like they just go fight
go
some
to hell.
shit. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what I want.
It's like the action movie cliche where it's like 5 to 10 minutes of them saying, "We need to go here and do this. Yeah, we should do that." Blah, blah. Then all of a sudden, giant snakes show up.
Right, just like every action movie.
'cause
Absolutely, yeah.
So it's literally 10 minutes of talking, 20 minutes of action, 10 minutes of talking,
Awesome.
20 minutes.
Awesome.
I don't remember how the snakes show up.
Doesn't matter.
I don't know if I was distracted, but they go to this temple, and all of a sudden they go, "Uh-oh, here they come," and they're coming over the mountains, and it looks really cool.
Fucking snakes, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So it's not a horrible movie.
Great.
It was fun. I had fun watching it.
I'm so excited now.
Yeah.
That's really
I hope
good.
you enjoy it. This is the real news.
Crime. It's something we take for granted. It's simply a day-to-day fact of life in the big city. But occasionally, a crime occurs so baffling that even we city dwellers sit up and take notice. 3 scientific equipment companies, 3 robberies, and what was stolen?
2 positron accelerators, 4 reverse flux polarity indicators, and 1 parabolic sine wave generator.
And what does all that equipment do?
I have absolutely no idea.
But although the missing goods are high-tech, the method by which they were stolen is not.
These incisions could only have been made with a samurai sword. And look at this rope. This can only be the work of ninjas, the ancient band of Japanese warriors.
And how can you tell that from the rope, Professor?
Well, look for yourself. It's made in Japan.
Ninjas, a 1,000-year-old clan of assassins. Is it possible they're here in the city? We're at Technology Central to answer that question, for it may be the next target of these mysterious burglars. I'll report as soon as anything develops. April O'Neil, Happy Hour News. Back to you, Jeff.
So, Friday the 13th is gearing up pretty soon in production, and they're doing, I guess, I don't call it a reboot, and they're going to explain Jason's origin, which...
Hasn't that happened before?
They've tried. The problem with explaining his origin, besides seeking vengeance for his mom who was murdered after he supposedly drowned, is when you sometimes reveal too much of a monster... It doesn't.
Scary.
Well, especially one who's supposed to be supernatural.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, how are you going to? I mean, Jason Goes to Hell tried to explain it with a convoluted story that kept on getting worse and worse as the movie went on.
Yeah.
I was telling Brad before, my idea, like, my Spider-Man 4 Sam Raimi stuff, is
which is in the news this week.
It is. I would have it that this was my idea. So. Jason is supposedly drowns, and Pamela Voorhees, his mom, goes home to their dad, Elias, and tells him that their son has died. And his dad hits Pamela Voorhees, and she kills him. And Jason sees all that from outside, and then follows his mom to Camp Crystal Lake and sees her murder people. And that's how he gets the killer instinct, I guess.
So he's just wandering around in the woods, like, watching his mom kill people?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he go up to her and be like, hey...
I think my guess would be he's too scared, because that's basically the story of Friday the 13th anyways. Because Friday the 13th part 1 is he just shows up at the end in a dream sequence. And then part 2, all of a sudden he's grown up and he's like living in a shack killing people.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
Okay.
I'll see it. January 13th of 2017.
Yeah.
Everyone's going, how are they going to film this movie and get it done in time? I'm sure it's going to take 20 days to film.
Yeah, right? Like...
It's not going to be super effects heavy.
3 days to edit.
Right.
Like, come on.
Yeah, come on, people. Brad, what else do you have?
They're going to do one take of every scene.
Did you check out the Star Trek Beyond posters that they released?
Yeah, they're awesome.
No, I haven't seen those yet. They're cool.
All,
I thought the new trailer for Star Trek Beyond was awesome.
Oh, yeah. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But did you notice some of the posters are backwards?
No.
If you... Uhura and Sulu, if you look at they might have been scrubbed from the internet, but they're posted, and the Star Trek comm badge was on their right side.
Oh, okay.
So the Photoshop people had mirrored because a lot of the posters have all those little ships that attack the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Shooting across from corner to corner.
Right.
And so they would block the right side of the chest.
Right.
And so the graphic design guy was like, oh, I'll just flip them. But then you put that, it makes the badge on the right side.
And he didn't fix it.
Huh?
And he didn't fix that.
He didn't fix that.
Okay.
So they wanted to have the badge there so it didn't look weird. But again, that it wouldn't be on that side of the chest. So the nerds were like, hey. And then they fixed it. And
woo.
It's just odd that they would a 50-year-old property like that.
I guess I didn't see those ones. I saw the one where the Enterprise was like in hyperdrive, and I thought it was pretty sweet.
It says Beyond.
Yeah.
No, they have character posters for each of the main stars. And
I just
they all have those little black ships shooting across.
Mm.
And they all look a little bit over photoshopped. Like Simon Pegg's, you wouldn't recognize him.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Batman vs. I'm super excited that Batman vs. Superman has a release date on Blu-ray and DVD.
Did you see the trailer for it? Is way better than any trailer they've put out.
I posted that.
Really?
Yeah, it is amazing.
And it has like all this new footage in it.
Yeah.
Like they didn't just rehash, scenes from the ones they are for the theatrical. They actually, like you see Jenna Malone in there.
Yeah. But they should have put that trailer out because it doesn't tell you anything about the story. It just tells you that these two are coming together to fight.
Is it possible that this is the movie they should have put out?
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping so.
I think so because there's, I don't know why it's kind of like the spandex thing people had for a while. I don't know why people are afraid to put out long movies. I understand that you reduce the amount of showings you can have, but at the same time, if it's a better movie, put it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of it is like, sometimes when it's longer, it actually is too long and people get...
I agree, but something like...
but the important thing is you cut out the right stuff.
I think Kingdom of Heaven, the director's cut on that is way better than theatrical cut.
It's so good.
And
the theatrical cut of that movie is good.
Yeah, it's good.
It's just that there's awesome stuff.
That's what I mean. Because how long is the director's cut?
It's 4 hours.
4 hours.
It's 4 hours long. Yeah. And there's whole subplots in that added back into that movie.
Yep.
That are really great.
So I actually, when I saw that trailer, I'm like, holy shit. Is this going to change my feeling of this movie? Maybe not, but
yeah. It might.
Some of the stuff in the trailer is Clark Kent actually doing research on who Bruce Wayne is.
Exactly.
Oh, what the hell?
Yes.
What the fuck?
So he's actually being a reporter.
Yeah.
Clark Kent is a person? He's not just Superman in a suit?
And the thing too is, so did you see all the versions that are coming out?
Yeah, I was going to talk about them.
I think I'm going to get the Target one because it's a digibook.
Digibook?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go the Steelbook at Best Buy. They have two kinds and each one is reversible anyway. So it's the poster art with like the scratched out, like is Batman face, but that seal is scratched out and then you could flip it over and it's the other one where it's like,
it's Superman,
but
Batman's
part of Batman's in there, yeah.
Cool.
So that's July 19th? Yeah, July 19th.
I think is that the same day as The Killing Joke? No, they pushed that to August, I think.
Oh. Which I hope has a Steelbook too, because that'd be great. And then, so Target has the digibooks. I think one for each Superman and Batman. Yep. And they're lenticular, so they got that little wavy.
Yeah, and I think it's 48 pages, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I always like production art and stuff.
And I think Walmart has... I know Amazon has the statue version, so you can get the Batman Superman statue.
Yeah, but it's like $150.
Yeah, if you really love that movie.
Yeah.
There you go. But yeah, I'm just going to have
the Batman in the armor's cool. I don't know about...
Yeah. No.
Can I help you, buddy?
So, guys...
What?
Rogue One's in trouble.
Is it?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Don't just throw out some shit.
I'm not. The studio ordered reshoots. That must mean,
no,
like Suicide Squad, things are not going good.
God damn it, that's not what that means. That is not what that means.
Hey, that's what the internet said, and the internet is always right.
You do not contradict the internet, James.
I know. Did you read the Christopher McQuarrie quote? It was awesome.
No, what did he say?
So... we should give this context. So there was a rumor going around that they needed to reshoot 40% of Rogue One.
Because it's not fun.
Because it's not fun.
Which, by the way, would delay the movie a year.
Oh, easy.
Like, because you don't just like, oh, hey guys, turn the cameras back on. You have to spin that up, right?
Yep.
There is 40% of the movie, unless 40% of the movie takes place in one fucking room, That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Then Christopher McQuarrie, who's doing,
and honestly, you don't do that. You put out the movie, it's shit, and you hope you make a better movie next time. Like, no studio would do that.
Well, yeah, because which one is Christopher McQuarrie doing?
Is he working on...
Is he doing 9?
No.
Is he doing a Star Wars one?
Yeah.
I didn't know he was signed on to do a Star Wars.
I thought he was doing Mission Impossible.
Is he doing the Boba Fett one?
He might be doing... I don't know. He's doing one because there was this...
He is doing the next Mission Impossible.
Yeah, so there's a...
Because he's the first repeat.
Part of it was that 40% of the movie's not working. The studio's not happy with Gareth Edwards. And so people are saying, oh, Christopher McQuarrie is going to go and reshoot this movie and help him.
Yeah.
And so I think it was actually a Slash Film article. This is the first time I've actually given props to Slash Film. And they said instead of speculating on these rumors, we're going to reach out to Christopher McQuarrie and ask him.
Right.
And so he sent an email back saying, no, I'm not doing anything.
Right.
He said, and basically what it amounts to, and what Disney said is we've already allotted for these 6 weeks of reshoots, and the actors know it. Basically, what happens is they shoot it, they watch the film, like, oh, we need to add a scene here. Every movie that's that big has reshoots.
Yeah.
So people are dumb.
I mean, these sound like I think that this is only as much news as it is because it blew up and was a bunch of falsehoods for a while, right? Like, it probably is on par with most stuff. It does sound like they're doing some significant reshoots. Like, they're going in and tweaking some character story stuff and, like, adding in, like, some exposition just to make sure that it flows properly. Right. It's the kind of stuff you expect them to do. I think that, it was interesting because Slash Film also followed up really well with an article about like why reshoots are actually really good, pointing out the example of Back to the Future, which is probably one of the most major ones, right? Where they like that probably is like, oh shit, like we're really gonna.
Well, yeah, that one the lead actor didn't work.
Right? Yeah, like the difference there is that they caught it mid film, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that is a catastrophic failure of the film that would have been something on this scale, but wasn't because they caught it early enough that they were like, oh, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah, this is more of, to me, it actually sounds, it could even be they're adding more action scenes.
It could be, yeah.
I'm not worried about it because, I mean, I think the trailer's awesome for it, and I'm sure
and if it is to make it like more lighthearted, I hope that's not the case because like part of what makes it so cool is that, you know, it's not from the same tone of, like you have the traditional movies that hit, like the episode 7 is great and all, and it fit the same tone as the original trilogy and stuff.
Right.
But like part of what excites me about Rogue One is that it is like a more mature, darker, edgier, supposedly film. So if they try to bring those tones together, it seems like it's a
and they don't need to because the thing with Gareth Edwards is his Godzilla is great. You know, when I watched it the first time, I'm like, oh, it's okay. But then when I knew what their story they were trying to tell, and I watched it a second time, I thought it was a pretty great piece of cinema. So
and I mean, I did want to point out that like people talking about, oh, you know, they're not happy with Gareth Edwards. There are two things. One, they're building the same model that they use on Marvel, where they're gonna do reshoots and they're gonna edit the movie to hell and back in order to make sure that it's perfect before they come out, because they want to build a franchise as strong as that one, where every film at least delivers a cool blockbuster, right? Even if the film that they deliver isn't like, oh, dude, remember how good Episode 7 is? Like, even if they don't hit that bar, they want to at least be entertaining on a Thor 2 level, right?
I agree.
And with that in mind, Gareth Edwards has only done one major film before. It's entirely possible that, like, you do the film, like, you're going to build in there when you invest in a guy like that. You're going to build in some leeway of, hey, we may have to go back and reshoot some stuff, redo some edits. Like, and that's not unusual.
No, and you're right. You know, the Star Wars universe now is expanding.
Yeah.
So they got to, if they want to make the stories work and they want to tie it together, they're going to have to make room for reshoots.
Hey, and I'll really piss some people off and say maybe what they're really doing is that they're shooting stuff because they're tying into other more movies, and they're like, hey, we cast this dude as Boba Fett and we want to get him in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
We have some cool scenes with Boba Fett in there where he's like, oh, Boba Fett. Like, maybe they're doing that. Huh?
That makes sense to me too. The cowboy from Hell Caesar.
Maybe he'll show up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And what else? The last thing I got, just some quick little bits. Supergirl is going to have Superman at some point in the next season.
Cool.
So he'll be in there. Peggy Carter does not approve of Sharon Carter kissing Captain America. She thinks it's disrespectful to her character. And
Okay.
I can see how she would feel that way, but I also
And by Peggy
sympathize
Carter-
with Steve that she is actually a connection to his past, so he feels a connection to her. So he's going to be automatically attracted to her.
By Peggy Carter, do we mean
Haley Atwell.
Yeah. So
she finds it
she's-
incestuous.
She's wrong for a few reasons. One, like they were not really that together, right? Like by the end of the movie, it's like, hey, I really want to dance with you eventually, right? Like it's not like these two are married.
Yeah.
Two, I'm sorry that Captain America needs to move on after 80 fucking years. Like, come on now. Like, can the man not have some happiness? Please. Also, she clearly hasn't read the comics because, like, that's his wife. So, fuck off.
Transformers news. Anthony Hopkins is going to be in Transformers the
The
first
last
night.
night.
The last night.
Hell yes.
Probably doing some powerful, impactful scenes.
Hopefully
Yeah.
it'll be
Adding
shot
some
at a
weight.
Dutch angle.
Oh, dude, that'd be cool. He's probably the voice of something, right?
Yeah. Bumblebee,
I'll actually be.
you are my son!
I'll be really disappointed if he's just the voice of something. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
What do you expect him to have in these shitty fucking Transformers movies?
You mean in an amazing movie? I want him to be a car salesman, like the awesome car salesman who ends up buying Bumblebee, and then he goes, and then Bumblebee's his car. What if it's Anthony Hopkins as an old man? It's
He might be the new Bumblebee.
It's
'cause
it's like the Indian movie. The movie he did about the Indian motorcycle,
World's
Fastest Indian. It's like that, where he's like in New Zealand and he comes across this old car, but it ends up being a Transformer, and then he has to fight aliens with it.
50 years later.
Yeah, but it's like a road trip movie, and he has to learn about himself and like come to peace with like his own mortality. Let's see that movie.
Maybe he is the new Bumblebee because they also announced that they have replaced the model of Camaro on Bumblebee.
Yeah, I mean that was bound to happen, right? They want to sell the new one,
Yep.
so
But maybe they'll
Cool.
get a new voice.
Maybe.
The voice of Anthony Hopkins.
Wait,
If he gets a
what kind of
voice.
Camaro is it?
it's a Camaro. It's just the most.
I know I'm being an asshole.
right. Yeah,
Pacific Rim 2.
yeah. John Boyega.
John Boyega is going to
Our
be
boy.
in there doing something.
It's too cool. Honestly, I was excited by this news just because I was like, hey, somebody's still talking about Pacific Rim 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's still
man.
coming out. They're still forcing
We're
it.
still trying. Come on. You're going to see it.
And lastly, if you like Pitch Perfect 3, you're not going to have Elizabeth Banks directing because she's too busy and has to do other things than direct Pitch Perfect 3.
Well, because they pushed it to December, and she said that it interferes with her children's school, so she's not going to direct it.
Good for her. Yeah. Good.
I want to see her direct like Captain Marvel or something.
Yeah. She should go do something. You know? Not another Pitch Perfect movie. Like, there aren't enough female directors, so she should go do something cool. Anyway. Cool.
That's all I got. James, what do you got?
No, and you ended up hitting everything. Muhammad Ali died. That was too bad.
Was he involved in movies?
No, but he was a badass.
He fought the Broncos' Lyle Alzado at Mile High Stadium.
He was he was portrayed in movies
By Will Smith.
Yeah. Tell the truth. Was that the movie?
Was that Muhammad Ali's catchphrase? Fly like a butterfly, tell the truth? Is that what it is?
Yeah. No, it wasn't. Yeah. Man, Will
think
Smith was robbed, guys.
I think it was The Onion. Like, there's some headline of like thousands of bees flock to Muhammad Ali's memorial site to sting him or something.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh man. No, I think that's news.
Cool. This week, we saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. James, should people see Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles?
You started with me again. I hate this.
I can go first if you want me to.
No, it's fine. So I'll say that. Is this movie good? No. Is it stupid as hell? Yes. Is this movie, like, strangely palatable and, I think, built relatively well, and was I not bored the whole time? Yes. Should people see it? Like, maybe rent it? I don't know. I think it feels... In a world where nobody's really making, like, kid adventure movies, right? Like, they're either kid movies or they're, like, you know...
Marvel movies.
Yeah, like, they're big PG-13 movies. Like, it feels like it's in this void in the middle. That doesn't make it good, necessarily, because it's super dumb. Like, I don't know. This is a movie where getting keys to the city is a plot point. And if you're okay with a movie where people get keys to the city, then honestly, like, I wasn't bored, and there was some fun stuff, and like the humor of the Turtles that I usually find eye-rollingly terrible, I was like, oh, this is not that bad. So no, is it good enough that anyone should spend money seeing it? No, but everyone is dismissing this movie, and I don't think it's the worst. Is that complicated enough?
So for me, this film, I'd say it works half the time, and half the time it doesn't. The times at work is when the Turtles are on screen, and when Will Arnett is on screen. And then I have to... The parts that don't work for me...
You know what? I agree with you.
Yeah, so the parts that don't work for me are... And there's a couple Turtle parts that... I'll talk about it when we get into the spoilers part. The couple Turtle parts that don't work for me. But is the really exposition-heavy scenes that they have in it that still don't make sense.
You mean like Tyler Perry's best Richard Pryor from Superman 3?
Yeah, that's what I mean. And... The stuff that doesn't make sense, and I purposely picked making Brad go last because maybe he can explain some of this turtle stuff. But you know, it's so yeah. I'm on the fence on it. I think it's a better movie than the 2014 one. I think it's better than Secret of the Ooze and Turtles 3.
I'm going to go on a limb and say I think it's the best live-action Turtles movie I've ever watched.
I won't go that far, but
I will.
It's not the worst. So Brad, you're the turtle expert. You talk about it. Should people see it?
Well, if you're not a Turtles fan, I don't see why this movie would entertain you.
My theater loved it, by the way.
It's a crazy mess. If you do like the Turtles, I think it'll probably entertain you. I wouldn't say it's very good, but it's definitely better than the last one.
Cool. Here's a trailer for Out of the Shadows.
What's happening out there, Donnie?
I don't know. It doesn't look good.
Gear up, guys.
Whoa!
Recital.
Bogey's on the bus.
I think it's very vital.
Hit the button.
What button? There are a million buttons.
On top.
Here we go. Whoa!
Here we go.
What are you, superheroes?
Just four brothers who hate bullies and love this city.
Whoa. This never works out well for you. What's your name?
Casey Jones.
Hey.
One question. Would you two guys like a thing?
I'm looking for errand boys. But we could work with that. Me too. This is gonna be
good! Dude, bringing back the Mohawk. Good for you.
Oh, y'all got jokes, huh?
Why are we going with the Turtles? When something bad happens, you want to be with the Turtles.
So, Brad, you can help clear some things up. I'm just going to start rambling, saying off stuff from.
Can I start, actually?
No.
Oh.
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so before I forget, so this movie starts out with some very Dark Knight-esque soundtrack music.
Wow.
And then they go into a Dark Knight van chase where they're transporting a prisoner, Harvey Dent. And I swear, if you listen to the sound effects in the sequence, they are the same bat pod and semi sound effects. And there's even Casey Jones is the guy saying, we're getting roasted alive like turkeys down here. Like,
true.
Great movie.
Absolutely.
He's that guy in this sequence.
Yep.
This movie's all over the place. That was the first thing. While energetic and exciting, I was just like, I couldn't stop thinking about this. I feel like I'm watching The Dark Knight right now. The foot soldiers even have like tumbler shaped vehicles that pop out of like nowhere, and then things are flipping around and exploding. And
but then I feel like when it's not
a helicopter comes in,
when it's not trying to be The Dark Knight, it's the cartoon show.
Yeah, and then the tone is all over because
fucking the Krang just shows the fuck up.
There is a weird like adult humor and like stupid kid humor because like there's a point where Rocksteady and Bebop check out each other's dicks and comment that they are pleased with how big they've gotten.
Yeah, but I think that was subtle enough that like if I were 8 years old, I'd be like, whatever, and then I'd move on, right? Like, I don't know.
And then the next scene, they fart on each other.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like the level of like humor is just up, and it seems like the dick one is the Michael Bay joke that he wanted in there, and then the David Green joke is the farting one.
Okay, hold on. Michael Bay didn't touch this fucking movie.
He's a producer on it, Platinum Dunes.
Yeah, yes. He is a producer. He told them, how many product placements to get in here, but like this movie is his machine just working. Like I don't think he was in there like, dude, you got to get a dick joke in there.
I don't know.
Come on, no.
It's just like a Transformers joke.
It's the dudes that he keeps around him. That's all it is.
Anyway, so the whole plot is the Shredder's the Turtles are struggling with like they saved the city, but Vernon Fenwick got all the credit because they can't.
You won't believe it. People really pay $200 for hot air.
Hold on.
He calls himself the Falcon. He's this big hero of the city. He has the key to the city.
The last movie did end with them fighting on top of a skyscraper, right? Like the whole movie. Every time they brought that up, I was just like, am I just supposed to completely ignore that?
Well, see, here's the thing.
Apparently,
which
no one
I'm
saw
okay
that.
with.
Yeah.
I'm okay if that's the argument.
Where the parts of this movie that didn't work for me is when they hit everything so on the head that it was really obnoxious. So there's a part where, Leo is talking to Splinter, and Splinter says, "You must make them come together to make them a team. But you should embrace all their differences." And then not even 40 minutes later, Leo's like, "I'm tired of you guys not listening to me." It's like,
yeah, that storyline I think was the most like languid.
It's too on the head. But there's parts.
And it doesn't connect properly, right?
Yeah,
like it's not actually a very good arc.
Because what works for me in this movie is I think Michelangelo is really fun. And I think Donatello is really fun.
Which one of them was the jackass last time?
Leonardo. I'm glad he's not in this one. Not that I have anything against Johnny Knoxville,
the blue masked one.
He's the leader?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, he was better.
Not that I have anything against Johnny Knoxville. It's just the actor they got this time was way better.
Yeah, he seemed like he was like strategic and yeah.
But so that's what I mean. It's inconsistent. There's times in this movie, like the scene where they're jumping onto the airplane is like
kind of great.
Was really great.
Yeah,
I mean.
And the characters there are fun, like genuinely fun. Not like 90s turtle movie, like, hey, we're full of just the worst quips ever. Yeah. Like, they're really well written.
But see, what I think's fun about that is, Raph is portrayed in this movie as he's the tough guy, and I do what I want. And
we find out he has a fear.
So it starts, it's like, all right, we only have 30 seconds to do this. Donatello's talking, and he just disappears.
I love that. And he turns around and he's like, guys, he jumped.
Oh boy.
We gotta go now. We only have a 30-second window. You know the plan.
Dudes?
What?
He jumped.
He jumped?
Uh-huh.
All right, one for all. Wait, you don't have a shoot!
Woo! I don't need a shoot. I got my board! Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh, this is awesome! Ouch! Ouch! Ouch!
Gotcha!
What would Vin Diesel do? No regrets, no fear!
He's already gone.
That was a really good joke.
so there's some really fun things in this movie, and there was times I laughed. But then, so there's parts too that I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they telling me who all the turtles are again? And why are they telling me they did it twice?
That was for me because I didn't fucking remember. I
But
was
see,
like,
they did it twice though, because
With
at
the graphics even.
Yeah, in the beginning it's like, and I was actually worried at the beginning because it's like Donnie, Mikey, Leo, Raph. I'm like, oh my gosh, they're not even going to call him
movie with these guys.
Yeah, they're not even going to call him like Michelangelo. But then 20 minutes later, they introduced him again.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
when they
I'm
did
like,
it, when they did it naturally, that was annoying. But
Yeah.
somebody probably said like, "Hey, why do you introduce him? At the end of Act 1?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you introduce him at the
But
beginning?"
here's the thing: is I did have fun with this movie when I totally checked out, and it's like, oh, it's turtles fighting.
When I didn't care about like what the hell Tyler Perry was doing or why or
Yeah.
what Krang's plan
But
was.
it's even stuff like that where they go, oh, some of it's just too convenient. They give him, so Krang gives Shredder this ooze, and Baxter Stockman already has a thing that can synthesize it.
Sensei Shredder. This what I was building an army. It needs to be synthesized, which is where you come in.
Oh, this is gonna be good! You're a rhinoceros! And you're a... I don't know what you are. Let me look. I'm a little piggy. I like it! Me too.
And when he shoots it, he says, oh, it unleashes their animal instincts.
Oh! I was so bad. Every human being has
So-
has a piece of DNA.
So
that
the
links
first
them
25
back.
minutes of this,
Oh, that's the worst.
the first 25 minutes, I was worried. I was really worried. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh no. But then it started getting a lot of fun.
I was concentrated on my food the first 25 minutes. Yeah.
But then stupid things like they're transporting Shredder, and they don't. So the police officers that are transporting don't have weapons.
Worst cops
Even
ever.
Casey comments like,
Yeah.
"Why are the bullets in the back?"
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's
With the prisoners.
It's just stupid like plot points like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Why the turtles are able to catch up to them in Brazil, and they're able to.
That's the thing is like the turtles managed to get to everywhere they need to be within seconds.
Yeah.
And then also like in the Natural History Museum when they had to find that other piece, Shredder's already gotten there. He got the piece. And then presumably 10, 20, 30 minutes have gone by and the turtles show up in his tracks and Leonardo calls out like, okay, we have to be quick. The police are going to be here in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 minutes, whatever he said. Yeah.
No, like 30 seconds. And it's like, well, if the Shredder broke in, the police should have been there minutes, half an hour ago. So like,
Yeah.
I don't know why he's worried that the police are going to suddenly show up in 30
Yeah,
seconds.
that's what I mean. Like, some of it is really convenient, but then at the same time, it's like, oh, this is a kid's movie.
Mhm.
So they need to have these, like, exposition scenes where.
And there's so much exposition.
Yeah. I was
Like-
kind of hoping that Baxter would show back up as, like, the Fly. And also,
there's that part where Shredder turns to him and he's just like, "You're gonna become what you've always been." And I expect him to say a fly, and like
Mhm.
they're gonna mutate him. But no, he's just like, you're gonna be a something I
Footnote.
step on, a footnote.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and they just
and
carry
then,
him off.
And then, too, like, the Shredder's a bitch in it. It pisses me off.
I know. I was so excited when he like gets on the Technodrome
Yeah.
and he's ready to fight Krang. You're like, oh, it's gonna be badass. Like Shredder's probably gonna lose, but at least it's gonna be an awesome fight. And then he just gets frozen and thrown in storage.
Yeah.
Doesn't even fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I was a little sad that they didn't do Krang's like shrieky kind of voice. Like he has more of like a gruff, like tough
It's
voice.
Brad Garrett who's playing
Yeah.
Krang. I think that's why. But I think he looks cool in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's parts of this movie it looks
When they're floating in the water,
amazing.
at
Oh
the
yeah.
turtles, like when they pop up and everything.
Oh yeah, like when he's kissing the rock, I was like, "Holy shit, that's a turtle man."
yeah.
Yeah. Like there's parts of this movie that look spectacular.
Honestly, that scene to me wasn't long enough. Like I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more fighting a tank down a river. Like that was so cool. I mean, that was the thing from the trailer that I was like, I want to see that. And then it was like that sequence is really cool because like they crash the plane. Like the whole sequence is really awesome. But I wanted more of that scene.
It was fun when they went over the waterfall and they all like went inside their shells.
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
that's what I
yeah.
mean. Like, there was
It's a
lots
clever
of fun
idea.
stuff
And yeah,
in the movie.
seeing that turtle was funny. Like the real turtle.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I meant the CG in that shot when he gets out and he's kissing the rock.
Yeah.
The CG of Ralph there is really good.
Oh yeah. And when they're floating afterwards, like as the four of them, like the water effect on looked really good. But yeah, just the gag of like him looking up and there's a turtle there was good. And that's why my favorite part was that I felt like the humor and like the turtles' personalities had been non-existent in the first one were there.
I agree. That's what I mean. I think they're all pretty fun in it, and that you understood all their motivations.
Right.
I just wish it wasn't so on the head.
Yeah, and I wish the story was more than just like, there's just
something
this
about a portal
alien.
and something about
Because I expected if Krang was going to come through, he'd bring a bunch of Dimension X like rock soldiers and Triceratons with him or something.
If this had been the first movie and they had whatever their budget was the first time around, like, because this to me screamed like, hey, we're going to make a sequel, but we don't know how much equity there is in this thing, so don't put all the money into this. But yeah, I mean, if you'd had that kind of stuff, like, I think it would have been really cool.
Yeah, and then Bebop and Rocksteady are fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I think
and like the sequence when Casey's running away from him in the warehouse and he's like pushing the cars and shit. I was like,
but
cool.
Then I had Mayhem guy, like, he gives them.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah, so like he gives them phones, and then Casey Jones shows up and starts throwing glass. He's like, "Oh right, man, here's a GPS," and it says Bebop and Rocksteady on. I'm like, "Oh my god."
Yeah,
there's tons of conveniences.
Yeah, but here the thing is, I think like Megan Fox doesn't bother me in the movie.
Yeah, I think she has less to do.
Her opening sequence, I was like, "Oh, son of a bitch!" Like,
but
she shows up and she's like, there's this terrible wig that shows up with a Megan Fox mask on, and it's pretending to be a nerd. And its version of a nerd is like these terrible glasses and this stuff. But at the
same time, I think it's a fun scene though, because
I agree.
When she chases that guy down and then she has to become sexy Megan Fox, I think it's pretty fun.
She loses her pants and I have no idea how. Like all of a sudden she's just not wearing it, and I was like, how did that happen? But whatever.
Yeah.
It's a fun scene. There's a couple like. It felt to me like, hey guys, we're gonna do this. What it was Alice Eve's like shirtless scene from Into Darkness, right? It's like, hey guys, we're gonna do this scene and it's gonna work really well in the trailer. Like, just wait for it. we got a purpose for this, right?
They even animated it in the credits.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was like Megan Fox tying her shirt in a knot, like But yeah, the scene is fun, like. And this is the kind of movie, like I was sort of talking about before where, Will Arnett gets key to the city and like that's a plot point. Like this is the kind of movie where every device that they use has like a turtle on it, right? Like they just get, like it feels like a cartoon show, you know?
It's fine.
Which is fine. Like I'm totally okay with that.
April's phone had the turtle jingle. That was
fun. Right.
Noticed that.
But the end credits were badass though. Like I love like the updated version of the song and the comic book kind of poppy art. I thought it was really fun.
I think the real shame is like they really tried to like embrace the cartoon show, but given the box office, it's like I'm worried that the executives are going to think like, oh well, embracing the show wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to make another one.
Honestly, I think what poisoned this movie was the last movie.
Yeah.
Right? Like people aren't seeing this because they saw the last one.
Yep.
And
it's a shame.
If this had been how good the first one was, I would have walked away and been like, oh, okay, cool. Like this isn't. Do I love this the way I love Transformers? No, because Transformers is big and stupider and like it's got all this action in it, right? And it moves faster because it doesn't whatever. But at the same time, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a thing that people should check out, because you get really neat little scenes, dude. Like Will Arnett with the fake camera and then he pulls the cord.
Oh yeah,
I was like, this
awesome.
is a really great gag. Like you could put this in any one of these adventure movies and have like an awesome little scene. I think they did a decent job. I don't know, like. I think that there are actually smart movies that kids can watch that are good, fun adventure movies that I think are better than this, right? So, like, as surprised as I am by this movie, at the end of the day, like, it's still kind of dumb, and I don't know if I can say, like, hey, people should go see this.
No, I agree. I think it's a rental.
I'm pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I was surprised too. I mean, I had fun watching it, but it's not, I don't, you rent it.
It's not very deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, in a world where I was forced to watch it, I was like, this is great. But to tell somebody, hey, take your family of 4 to go see this, that's hard.
Yeah, but like Brad said, I think this movie finally touched on giving the turtles personalities that was sorely lacking in the first one.
Absolutely.
Because I recently watched the first one again, and it's not like the first one's too not a horrible movie.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's just there. Like,
yeah.
There's nothing that pushes me.
And the things that I Yeah. Often with these movies, the personality, other than the animated one from 6 years ago or 8 years ago, whatever it was, other than that one, usually their personalities in the movies is a part of what I honestly kind of don't like about it, right? Like the sort of corny, oh, here's all the pizza jokes and stuff like that are usually really annoying. But here, I actually really like Michelangelo. Like, I think he's really fun.
Was really fun in this movie.
Yeah, and part of it is because he actually has a heart, and he has like these moments where
at the beginning where he's stoked because it has those arms that come out that have huge nunchucks, and he celebrates and knocks them off. I mean, that's funny. Yeah,
or dropping the pizza in the Knicks game. Even I was like,
pizza.
Cool, this is cool. Like for a kids movie, like this is a neat little thing.
Yeah,
Splinter looked better. He didn't look like a slimy rat this time.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So I think the Shredder was wasted again.
Did Shredder look better in this one?
Like
Shredder looked like a cool Shredder here, but I kind of remember last time him being weird.
Part of what's awesome about him is when he wears that mask, and he pretty much didn't until the end of the movie.
He put it on for 2 minutes and then got frozen.
Like that's what makes him badass. If first he's menacing because he's doesn't say much, and then there's scenes where he and Karai, where did Karai go?
Yeah, exactly.
Is she the weird? She's the weird Asian lady.
Yeah.
Well, he's supposed to be your daughter.
Oh, okay.
Or she's supposed to be his daughter.
But they get around
watching
her somewhere.
But anyway, they're like watching. He's supposed to be this badass, and then they're watching Bebop and Rocksteady eat that spaghetti or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like she and him like exchange a glance, and so that kind of takes his menace away.
Yeah.
Where he's just like, these guys are weird. I should probably kill them because I'm like a total badass. But
I kept on hoping too after they defeated Krang. He's like, I'll be back. I kept on waiting for like Shredder to like fall down on the rooftop.
Well, I don't know anything about Turtles, but would the cool sequel here be like Krang is like, God damn it, like these turtles are so annoying. Let me go, that dude, he was okay. Let me go unfreeze that dude, and he and I will work together, and I'll send him to go like help me, like we'll together go try to take over the earth, or something. I don't know. Like
but if I was writing the sequel, I would have Krang just like go back and like maybe he has a struggle with the Triceratons, and so he needs Shredder's help for some reason. Okay. So that would cause him to team up, because obviously Shredder knows he's been betrayed, so he can't trust Krang anymore.
That's true.
But maybe there's something that Shredder can do. And so that whole war, because then the neutrinos, they could do like the cartoon, the neutrinos would come out from Dimension X, invade Earth again, and then Krang, like they have something that Krang needs to defeat the Triceratons or something, and that whole plot ends up dragging that whole Triceraton war with the Utroms to Earth. So that's what I would do.
Nothing he just made made any sense to me.
It's dinosaurs that
they're like
fight.
Okay, cool.
Warrior dinosaurs.
Can we explain that in like 30 seconds of exposition?
Yeah, they're warrior dinosaurs.
Ask the scriptwriters for this movie.
Okay, great. Here's $60 million. Go make the movie. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, unless the police force and like it'd be better if there was no police presence in this movie. Like the whole Laura.
It was weird. They weren't
force.
useful at all. Like they become friends at the end, and then all that happens is Megan Fox and Casey Jones drive around and get back to that place where they like. I don't know what the cops do for them.
And they said this whole thing about like Casey wanting to be like this great detective, but
he's never a great detective. He's a dude who can hit things with a hockey stick.
And then by the end of the movie, like that whole thing isn't resolved. Like it doesn't go anywhere.
And I will say they missed a good opportunity when Will Arnett and Megan Fox are sitting on top of the container, and like they see the ninja, and she's like, "Dude, fucking knock that dude out." And he's like, "Why would I do it?" Like that should have been the moment. Like Megan Fox should have jumped off that thing, kicked him in the head, and knocked him out. And been like, "Seriously, like why is there this scene where like she like motions like, how am I going to do it? I'm only 110 pounds. Like, and then he does it, and somehow like the buffoonery Will Arnett is able to like knock a ninja out in one hit. Like, nah, come on.
Yeah.
Like let our hero be the one to do it. But anyway.
I was just saying like the whole vibe of like the police are, buddies with the turtles. Like, it's just it's a weird dynamic. That
I think it had to happen because you would set up this whole thing of like them feeling like outsiders, which you only set up because you made us forget that they were revealed in the last movie, which maybe you only did because you wanted to call the movie Out of the Shadows. I don't know.
I feel like it only supports the title of the movie because like I think it would have been way more like if it was a stronger movie and more dramatic. Like if they like when Raph we didn't even talk about it. Part of the Turtles arc is that when they discover that the purple ooze can possibly mutate them into humans, they won't feel as rejected by society.
Right.
So Raph splits off and tries to obtain it so that, and then Leonardo keeps the information from everyone. So that fractures the group, these not, acting like a team. And then when they decide it's better to be a turtle, I felt like it would have been stronger if they had embraced that and not exposed themselves.
Yeah.
Like obviously they could have continued to fight out in the open like they did in the first movie and people would not have remembered them.
Well, but I think that them deciding, look, we're going to fight out in the open and some people are going to think we're monsters, but as long as the cops understand, as long as we're not in danger, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can help people, but not worry that we're going to get shot every day.
Yeah, but I feel like that fear and dread makes it going forward. If they still have that struggle,
sure,
it's just a stronger dramatic.
Yeah,
because now they don't all they have to worry about is outside dimensional forces.
Right.
I don't know. It's just weightier if they on top of that they also have to still fear humans and
sure. I can see that.
Now they don't have to worry about that as much. It just makes it a little weaker.
Yeah, for sure.
A little goofier.
For sure.
Cool. So before we close today's episode, I just want to tell people that I've started a fantasy movie league. And this league it's an app. You download it and you pick 8 movies. You have $1,000 and you put them on screens. And you win weekly prizes and things like that. So me and Joe Kempter, my friend, are doing it. And it's really fun.
Cool.
So this week I picked, X-Men, Angry Birds on 3 screens, Civil War on 3 screens, and I think I put The Nice Guys on the last one.
So it's based on how they're going to perform.
Exactly. And you get bonuses for things that overperform. So Me Before You was only supposed to do 12 million projected and it did 18 or something. So then you get bonuses for that. It's really fun, and we're going to start a league, me and Joe are. And so we invite our listeners to join in on us. And as soon as I know the name of the league, I'll send out the password and you can join. And they give out sweet prizes. Obviously, I think I'm ranked 600 out of 5,000 this week, but it's pretty fun. So yeah, it's called
the fans are invited and we're not. What the
yeah,
fuck?
no, you are. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I've never heard about this before. Does it reset every week like a DraftKings?
Yes.
Cool.
So it's for 12 weeks for the summer.
Okay.
So the league I'm in is for 12 weeks. So every week you pick a new set of 8 screens. Cool. And you get $1,000. So the big movie this week was Turtles. So that was a $700 screen. Each screen is $700.
Oh, okay.
So you have to be smart with it. So when Civil War came out, I put Civil War on 1 because it was $800. And then the rest of them I had to figure out, where's the best value for it.
Yeah. So it's almost more playing in the middle tier of film.
Exactly.
Which has a lot more strategy
but
to it.
The perfect Cineplex this week was 5 screens of Me Before You, and Angry Birds, and 2 Civil Wars.
Wow.
Because it's per screen
that
average.
Was the best too. Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, it's pretty fun. Download the app.
What's it called?
Fantasy Movie League.
So you don't put any money into it.
No. You win prizes. Their prizes are gift certificates to movie theaters and stuff.
Cool. And you probably have to watch an ad every now and then, or there's ads on the bottom of the app.
Nope.
How do they make money?
I don't know.
All right. I don't trust it until I find out how they make money, but it sounds cool to me.
Yeah, it's I'm literally just kicking it now.
Maybe the prizes are gifted.
Yeah, they have to be gifted because it's you win a $50 Regal Cinema card.
Oh, do they tell you up front what the gifts are?
Yeah.
So the marketing is in the gifts. So they make enough to pay their developers off of whatever the overhead is on what they're charging, and then they also get the gifts from the marketing. Yep. Cool. It's a neat model. Sounds fun.
What's it called again?
It's called Fantasy Movie League.
It's the simplest title that it could be.
Well, I forgot in the past 10 minutes, so it's not that memorable.
Yeah, cool. I might check that out. That sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
You guys are going down.
I've never been a part of any kind of a sport league, fantasy league, or otherwise, honestly. But this might be a thing I'll check out. Can I start now, even though it's into the summer?
You might be able to. So yeah, right here.
I'm not invited.
So, week 1, this person got a perfect cinema score, and they had 1 screen of X-Men, 1 screen of Civil War, 1 screen of The Jungle Book, and then 5 screens of Love and Friendship, which is like a little
weird
movie. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, that sounds like a fun thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
What are we seeing next week?
Next week we're seeing Warcraft, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to sneak away and see The Conjuring 2 as well.
Yeah, there's something else next week.
And Now You See Me 2 is also out.
Yeah, I think I'll miss that one.
Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of movies.
I still need to go see Neighbors 2. I want to check that
So
out.
my schedule switches to midnight to 10 in the morning, so we can start doing more reasonable podcasts.
Okay, cool. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Neat. Till next week.
Yep.
Yeah, also go to Open Screen Night on Thursday.
Cool.
Sea Film Center, 7 o'clock. $5. There'll be macaroni and cheese.
What? I'm in.
Bye.
Bye.
Turtle Power.
We need heroes like the Lone Ranger when Tonto came pronto when there was danger. They didn't say we'd be there in half an hour, cause they displayed triple power.
Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrill for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cars, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.